How we doing, y'all? I'm Brian Beck, and this is for Aviation 360. This last week we talked about which aircraft makes the most sense as far as our priorities as a business go. This week we're talking about how much those aircraft are going to cost. We're looking at all four of the ones we've looked at recently. We're looking at the M600, the Pilatus PC-12, Phenom 100, and PC-24. Obviously we've got two jets, two piston aircraft, or two turboprops and two jets, one being smaller and two being larger. Here we're breaking down how much it's going to cost in fixed cost. Fixed cost for us is going to be how much is it going to be to hangar the aircraft and perform any required inspections on the airplane, your annual and whatnot, and how much is it going to cost to hire, maintain a crew, and keep them current in the aircraft. So for the Piper M600, obviously is the smallest of the aircraft that's going to come in under 200,000, and for good reason, the cheapest of the bunch. It's the simplest aircraft. The PC-12 a little more complex at $202,000 just to keep it around. And on the far end of the spectrum, we have the PC-24, which is the biggest jet that we've chosen for this group, coming in just shy of $300,000 a year. Just on. Okay, now this is going to break down how much it costs to actually fly the airplane. Now this is things like fuel and maintenance and how much you pay your pilots per hour. For instance, the M600 going to be the cheapest of the bunch. Again, $511 per hour. The PC-12 coming in just shy of 700, sorry. The Phenom 100 and the PC-24 are both over $1,000. The 24 being well over $1,000 an hour just to operate. And now this category here is largely due to the speed of the aircraft that we're talking about. The M600 is going to be the slowest of all of them, and this is based on the number of miles that we're going to be traveling each and every year. So to travel those miles, the M600 is going to take us 547 hours to make that flight time happen. And on the right side of the spectrum here, we've got the PC-24, which is a much faster airplane. 327 hours is what it's going to take us to accomplish all those miles. Okay, so now we break down. We already talked about how much it costs per hour to run these. So since we're using the M600 for more hours, $280,000 is what it's going to cost us to run that aircraft per year. The rest of the numbers are here, but the PC-24, even though we're using it less hours, it costs more per hour, so therefore it costs more per year. Just over $500,000 a year. Now, this number here is kind of a moot point. This is your estimated cost per hour. This is your fixed cost and your variable costs put together. Now, the M600 going to be $855. The PC-12 at about $1,100. The Phenom 100, which is the smaller of the jets, $1,800 an hour. The PC-24, $2,400 an hour. This doesn't necessarily represent how much it costs annually to fly these airplanes. This is just how much it costs per hour to fly these. Just something to think about. Here's the number that really is going to make the most impact on our business. How much is it going to cost us if we're going to fly X amount of hours, if we're going to fly X airplane? This is how much it's going to cost per year for us to own and operate this thing. The M600, $470,000 a year. The PC-12, $520,000. The Phenom 100, which is the smaller jet, again, $640,000, and the PC-24, which is the large jet, $794,000 a year to operate. Now, we're also asked to think about how much is it going to cost us to charter a business operations type aircraft to fly us all of these miles each year. And the number we come up with is $2.25 million a year is what it's going to take us to fly this amount of hours, this amount of miles in a chartered jet for the company. $2.25 million. Now, in this example here, we're looking at the Pilatus PC-12 that for the same amount of usage would cost us $521,000. And that's a $1.7 million savings every year. In this chart at the end here, we've got the cost of chartering an aircraft on the far right versus the cost of ownership of these 4 other aircraft that we picked out towards the left here. The M600 and PC-12, of course, being the cheapest. Those are our turboprop variants. The Phenom and PC-24 are going to be the more expensive of the two. Those are the jets. They're a little bit faster, a little more expensive to maintain. Any choice of these is obviously going to be a significant savings over chartering an aircraft. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.